gonna start off this video by saying Che is easily one of the most talented artists in the underground. His music just gets better and better no matter how many times he switches his aesthetic and overall style. Going from the minimalistic lo-fi feel of closed captions to the off-putting glitchy melodies reminiscent of Crystal Castles on Say So Says, to finally dropping this post-human, distorted, chaotic album he calls Rest in Bass, Che is truly one of a kind when it comes to his craft. Y'all already know what the fuck going on. Che, I owe you a deep apology, my nigga. The past 3 videos, all I've been doing has been calling you ugly as fuck. But your new album has caused me to have a change of heart. Before we talk about Rest in Bass, we gotta talk about Che's previous albums and how he has evolved over the years. The first album Che dropped was called Closed Captions. Now, while this album is very good, it does not hold up at all to the shit that Che drops today. With very lo-fi-esque beats produced by Nate CXO and extremely catchy choruses, this is kind of Che's way of just getting himself out there. And with singles like Agenda and Black China, we all expected Che to use this trance-like vibe for the rest of time. But that nigga made a completely unexpected switch with his tape, Kruger. Still being easily my favorite Che tape to this day, being very reminiscent of old Chief Keef, Che uses aggressive drums and blown out mixes to give a nightmarish feeling to his music. And once again, niggas was fooled into thinking Che was gonna keep this sound for the rest of his career. But once again, Che switches that shit up, dropping Say So Says with singles like Bay, Miley Cyrus, and Pizza Time, which despite only being released last year, have all cemented themselves as underground classics.
My life like sex, God present ecstasy, no bitch been next.
This is also around the time Che begins to prove himself as a genius of aesthetic and creative direction, partnering with masterminds Poppy Gavin and Noah So Cold to create some of the most iconic underground promotions and music videos. I'm not gonna lie, bro, I see Che dropping this Pizza Time music video as one of the worst times in the underground, because even though this video was great, it got mad niggas cloning and trying to hop on this wave, which is probably why Che had to switch the sauce so fast and drop Rest in Bass. With Say So Says being one of Che's brightest works, Che's way of keeping it fresh was instantly switching to dark muted colors, beginning to pop out in gritty photographs favoring the colors black, purple, orange, and green, which is an obvious reference to the colors surrounding Halloween, and starting to cover his face more using dark makeup and masks as a way of hiding in plain sight. A rebirth of Che's new aesthetic was upon us, and god damn was niggas excited. Now, what did I expect from Rest in Bass? Now, before the promo videos that dropped maybe a week before the album, I expected another techno-esque vibe from Che, which sounds stupid considering that I should be well aware of how often Che completely changes his aesthetic. But just listen to the beat they used on the original album trailer, bruh. It did seem like at one point in time it was just a Say So Says Part 2. But hey, bruh, who knows? Maybe this was a way of not spilling the sauce too early so niggas wouldn't jack his shit the way they did with Say So Says. With Rest in Bass finally dropping, we got the complete opposite of a techno vibe. Instead, we got this creepy ass surveillance with erased faces and flickering screens and shit, with sounds heavily influenced by rockstar culture and Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red. Songs like On Fleek and Hood Famous sound like a kid with autism auto-fixated on Carti's 2020 aesthetic and up the distortion by 1,000. But I cannot sit here and act like this shit's not hard! Being called Rest in Bass, we obviously expected a lot of bass. But I can highly appreciate the fact that the bass doesn't just drive the music, but it overall consumes it. Some songs on this album use Che's voice as more of a sound layer than an actual forefront of the music, which kind of forces your brain to ignore the degraded, screechy voice yelling in the back and focus on rocking out to the distorted, gritty, Black Sabbath adjacent drums.
Look at my wrist and all balls. Yeah, I'm getting this piss in the mouth. I purchased a bitch that they lost. Let's go. My shooters they out in the dark.
My top 3 favorite songs on this album, starting with number 3, I gotta go with Dior Leopard. This song easily has some of the clearest vocals on the album, and mixing this with the insane flows and the raw beats that the first half of Rest in Bass specializes in, this song was bound to make the top 3. And don't get me started on that beat switch, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie, they cooked with that shit. My second favorite song on this album has to go to Slam Punk. Making this the intro was easily one of Che's best moves. I ain't gonna lie, when I pressed play and heard this for the first time, it was instant stank face, my nigga. The unique mixing of the vocals with the Draco FM tags was just amazing. And hearing DJ Renaissance yelling in the back was not something I expected to hear, but god, that shit was tough. I'm not gonna lie, this song in itself perfectly encaptures the entire aesthetic of Rest in Bass. And it easily would have been the best song on the album if the #1 spot didn't completely blow everything else out the water. And with the best song on Rest in Bass, I'm sure we all expected this. It's Mannequin featuring Xavier So Bass. I'm not gonna lie, bro, this beat has gotta be one of the craziest beats to drop in 2025. And it really puts into perspective that Rest in Bass does not only showcase the evolution of Che, but the evolution of CXO as a producer too. Being there from the very beginning of Che's first album ever, CXO's evolution is absolutely insane, man. He has definitely become a top 3 producer in the underground. And throwing an Xavier So Bass feature on top was just the icing on the cake.
Tell a bitch shit crisscross. Yeah, bitch ain't gotta hit a lick down.
Even with the crazy amount of hate that this Che album is getting, bro, at the end of the day, I love this shit. And I have a good feeling that this is gonna grow on everybody, including the niggas on Twitter saying that this is just whole lot of red clone horse shit. And I don't mean to suck his dick too much, but even though he already was up there before, this album definitely certified Che as one of the best artists in the underground. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this album a cool 8.7 out of 10. And with that being said, that's the end of the video. Hey man, let me know y'all's honest opinions and thoughts on this album, bro. I want to know what everybody thinks. The reviews on this album have been so mixed. Like, some niggas hate this shit, some niggas love it. It's just all over the place. Anyways, man, let's get to 10K subs so I can drop my mixtape and do my face review, bro. We about to go so crazy. 2025 has been a great year so far, man. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
I put this shit on my dad. I put this shit on my parents. I ain't finna go outside. I ain't gonna go out, no. I ain't gonna go out, what's up? Just like a plug inside. Whoa, I ain't gonna go out, no. I ain't gonna go out, no. Yeah, bitch wanna go out with me. I tell about the crib, it's a Gucci socks.